Evil Dead conference call with Bruce Campbell. The new series from Starz premieres this Saturday, Halloween, at 9 p.m. ET. Due to a large amount of journalists that have registered for the call today, we are limiting questions to one per outlet to begin with. The transcript will be provided post the call. We will do our best to cycle through as many questions as possible. So without further ado, please welcome Bruce Campbell.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Our first question comes from the line of Mr. Eric. Good morning. One moment, please. Let me start. And get Mr. Eric's line open. Mr. Eric's line is now open.
Okay, yeah. Hi, Bruce. How are you today?
Good, sir. Thank you.
All right. So I guess I have to ask, what was it like to return to playing Ash again after so much time? And is Sam still torturing you just like he always did when you guys were growing up?
The answer is good and yes. It's great to get back to this character. It's probably the most fun character I've ever had to play. And now we can bring all of our experience to bear on this character again and flesh him out even more. And yeah, Sam's just as cruel as he always is.
But you guys are still having fun, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right on. What came back to it, how did it feel to be, putting the chainsaw back on and fighting zombies again? Or fighting the dead ice?
It reminded me of how much I hate fake blood. That hatred, it runs deep. It runs really deep. One of my least favorite things is adhesive, surgical adhesive, and they use that for appliances, makeup appliances, and fake blood. Just because it's chronic, it gets everywhere.
And is there a connection between the Evil Dead 2013, which I know you had a cameo in?
There's no connection whatsoever. That was a director who had a whim who goes, I have this great idea. It's nothing to do with anything, but I want to do it. I was like, yeah, whatever. So, no connection whatsoever.
Our next questions will come from the line of Mr. Christopher Jimenez. Once again, to ask your question, that'll be star and then one. Christopher Jimenez, the line is now open.
Okay. Hi, Bruce. Good morning. Good morning, sir. How are you? I'm well. How are you doing?
Excellent.
I was wondering, now you said in the past that the video games that had come out for PlayStation and whatnot were Evil Dead sequels, and we should look at them that way. Will any of those storylines be referenced, or did you use them for any personal reference inside your head?
I'm glad I'm not running for office, because guys like you would dig up crap that I said randomly 15 years ago. That's why I'm not a politician. Because to you, I would say, that was baloney I made up at the time. Okay? I lied. Got it? I lied. So now we can move on to the truth. So the truth is, I'm glad we have something to finally show fans where I'm not put on the spot all the time to try and make crap up. Army of Darkness bombed. We got to clarify that. It bombed. The last of the three bombed, and it was the most expensive. It was too expensive. It didn't make any money. So people can think that we were lazy or we didn't want to go back to it. I got news for you, pal. There's no money in the bank for it. And you're not making anything if there's no money. So this is just the raw truth of it. Thankfully, the fans have stepped up through all the DVD reissues. There were 86 versions of Army of Darkness after that. It became an American movie classic, on AMC. And so fans drove it. And they drove it at these personal appearances. I've toured since 88, and they haven't let it go. So they finally got it. So regardless of what I said, when I said, or how I said it, we're here, and it's a good day.
Thank you. Our next question will come from the line of Ms. Carisha Pavlika. Once again, to ask questions, that's star then one. Ma'am, your line is now open.
All
character. What are you looking forward to doing with him now that you have all this experience and the opportunity to do it?
Well, people have only seen 4.5 hours worth of Ash. In this first season alone, we're going to do 5 new hours of Ash. So I'm actually looking forward to finally seeing who Ash is, because he's got to interact with other people now. He has to be a leader. So it's a slightly different story in that the character has to evolve. The story has to get bigger. And I'm looking forward to that. So that I can take enough time to finally be with Ash. These other movies, I'd have a week that went by without any dialogue. Shooting like something like Evil Dead 2, guy trapped in the cabin. So it's Ash getting out into the wild, getting out into suburbia. So that's been the fun thing to do, is interact with other people.
Our next question will come from the line of Mr. Travis Dale. Sir, your line is now open.
Bruce, good morning.
Good morning.
You just mentioned how much of a bomb Army of Darkness was, and I was curious because none of the things from Army of Darkness was mentioned. And the same with Pablo, we were explaining the Evil Dead to them. Is that intentional, or are you guys not going to reference any of the events of that movie in the series?
Correct.
Correct, like you're skipping over it, it's not canon anymore, or are you not going to go back to that?
Correct in that that's not material that we can do legally, so we're not going to do it. It's a whole complicated bunch of legal mumbo jumbo that's not even worth going into. The 3 movies were made by 3 different companies, so that should tell you. Call your uncle the lawyer and talk to him about it. He'll laugh. He'll go, "Oh, really? 3 movies, 3 companies, and you want to make a TV show? This should be fun." So it's very complicated to put together, and I'm really grateful that it all worked out. Here we are. But it means there's things we can include, things we can't. But everything that Ash needed was in the first 2 movies anyway. Anything he ever used, so it's all good.
Our next question will come from Mr. Solomon Larocco. Your line is now open.
Hey, how you doing?
Greetings.
Okay, so we have shows that like Family Guy and Southland that have gotten canceled and picked up by other shows, and by other stations, and then the ratings have gone through the roof. And you have shows like The Walking Dead that have got turned away by other stations and then picked up by others, and then the ratings have gone through the roof. So how does Starz end up with a gem of a show like this in their hands?
They had what we needed. They gave us the budget we were looking for, and they gave us the leeway we were looking for, and they gave us the unrestricted content that these movies demand. So they were really, out of all the suitors that we had, they were actually the only company that I'm aware of out there that would give us that criteria, and that did it. That sealed the deal right there. So, and look, these guys they're growing as a company. It's always nice. I like being part of companies that are growing and expanding rather than shrinking and contracting. And they're willing to stay on the cutting edge. And they want to do shows that people not only like, but they like a lot. And I think we provided something like that for them. And I think we're attracted to them because this show can actually play around the world. Not all TV shows can. Evil Dead started overseas in the UK and then spread everywhere else. So I think we're good partners. We're good for each other.
Our next question will come from the line of Mr. Tony Sims. The line is now open, sir.
Hi, Bruce. Got a chance to check out the pilot. It's fantastic.
It's the subtlety,
One thing, the Army of Darkness question, he stole my thunder on that one, but I do have another question concerning the Easter eggs and hidden things. Should we be looking for more than just the Oldsmobiles, the 73 Delta 88? I mean, I see like the Woodsman was the bar.
Well, it's not even like we're hiding anything. We are bringing back all that stuff. It's all of his. It's a lot of Michigan stuff mostly. It's Michigan Easter to New Zealand.
Our next question will come from the line of Mr. Mike Davis. The line is now open, sir.
Yeah, hi Bruce, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Evil Dead was inspired in part, I think, at least in part, by Sam Raimi's interest in H.P. Lovecraft. You guys grew up together, I believe. Were you also a fan of Lovecraft when you were growing up, like he was?
No, I didn't give a rat's ass about Lovecraft. I read not the Spider-Man comic. I read a comic called Sad Sack. It was a silly army comedy comic. So that was me. I didn't really get into that. We never, we didn't get into horror until we decided to make our first feature film, because horror was the only type of genre that you could make cheap movies and no one cared. Like, you couldn't make a cheap drama. That would be too low budget. Dramas had to have good photography and well-known actors and stuff. And horror films, you can still make drive-in movies back in those days. So that's what we did. And horror, I certainly appreciate now, is one of the few genres that can rile an audience up and can make them pay attention. I kind of like that. It's one of the few genres that can be very manipulative.
Our next question comes from the line of Mr. Daniel Wilder. Sir, your line is now open.
Hey Bruce, how's it going today?
Good, Daniel.
So, I've always thought that Ash appeals to genre fans because he's kind of a societal outcast, but he has one really specific skill.
Agency. Nothing. So I think when you watch him, you go, that could be me. The guy who works at 7-Eleven. I mean, that I could do that. Which, why not? I'm sick of overtrained heroes. I'm really bored with that. Guys who are just ripped to shreds and, full of skills. Like, that's a bore to me, man. Give me the garage mechanic who picks up a weapon. That's my hero.
Our next question comes from the line of Miss Laura Gallagher. The line is now open.
Hi. In Ash vs. Evil Dead, are there any advancements in special effects that you are grateful for that you did not have while shooting the film?
Well, we tried to keep the blood real. Digital blood is not effective. We had that in a couple of cases in this pilot, but, we're not a big proponent of digital. So, funny thing is, we have better ways of delivering the blood, but it doesn't make any of it easier or better. It just makes them better at hitting me. Their aim is better now. The chance of getting it right on the first take are better now. Because, we do a lot more testing. We've used anything from a seed spreader to a paintbrush dipped in blood, where it's spattered on us that way, to a Hudson sprayer, to a beer keg that's converted to a pressurized, basically a blood sprayer, and then we have a viscera cannon. So the good news is, the systems are all better, but it doesn't make my life any easier. It makes it worse.